Many methods have been tried to attain more certainty. Old-fashioned ones, initial successes, and now finally, reliable ones. Together with the central IT department, the logistics at the Mercedes-Benz plant in Berlin has developed an RFID-based system for engine carrier management. By equipping the engine carriers with passive RFID tags, automatic identification and tracking are possible throughout the transport process. With the help of data acquisition through RFID gates, the entire inventory is transparent at all times, within and outside of the Berlin plant. It was in Berlin in 1902 that the success story of one of the world's largest automotive suppliers began. Today, Daimler AG has manufacturing plants on 5 continents and sells its products to nearly every country in the world. In 2009, the Mercedes-Benz plant in Berlin introduced a new quality of logistics performance. The focus of this successful project are the carriers for V8 and V12 engines. We like to keep an eye on our engine carriers for several reasons. We don't only need them for transport outside of the plant, but when a finished engine leaves the assembly line, we need to put it in a carrier for intermediate storage. We can only guarantee smooth, disruption-free manufacturing if we have a reliable overview of our carrier inventory in the plant. In the past, neither the identities of the engines nor the carriers were recorded in the operational logistics system. The time needed to enter all the details with handheld devices would have been immense. When a carrier left the plant, it was difficult to classify, and many anonymous carrier systems were in circulation. Laborious research was required in order to trace inventory outside of the plant. At some point, the carriers would return to the plant unrecognized. So the question is not to have or not to have, but that we need the right amount of carriers at the right moment and of the right type on site, period. That's why we need more transparency in our supply chain. Our goal is to guarantee predictable, reliable inventory in the plant. It's the only way we can use our resources efficiently. Distinction makes things unmistakable. And this unmistakable identity gives us certainty. But we also know that certainty at any cost is not really an advantage. That is why we have analyzed and evaluated our entire supply chain. With this project, Daimler began a development towards predictable, comprehensive and customizable logistic work. IBM was responsible for implementing the RFID technology, as well as integrating the data capturing into the middleware. These steps were taken according to the Daimler RFID reference model. Thanks to the use of the Daimler RFID Test and Innovation Center in Böblingen, it was possible to efficiently support the project with information on suitable technology suppliers and possibilities for optimization. Since December 2007, IBM has been running a 300 square meter RFID test center for Daimler. The right equipment and know-how provide ideal conditions to research and test hardware and software in advance. Furthermore, standardization tests are performed in which Daimler RFID standards can be defined. The test results and the defined standards are the basis for the implementation of each respective project. So the test center was able to check different alternatives in quick succession before actual implementation of the engine carrier management project without disturbing the manufacturing process. For example, we were able to determine the ideal position of the RFID tags. Concerning implementation in our own IT department, we were able to integrate the project 100% in our existing IT landscape. When we bring together the engine and the carrier, both identities are combined into one and can be followed automatically. When a carrier leaves the plant, only the tag needs to be read. This is done with very high accuracy. The registered data is then processed in the SAP system. One of the typical hurdles of tag reading in metallic surroundings could even be turned into an advantage. For example, the reflective property of the materials is used to improve the reading accuracy. At the same time, information about other carriers nearby is effectively filtered out. Incoming carriers are registered, and no carrier leaves or arrives at the plant unrecognized. We were able to completely integrate this project into our existing processes. This also allows great potential for expansion. Because of its modular construction, it's relatively easy to integrate additional suppliers and customers into the system. In order to create a scenario of well-streamlined process chains, logistically precise processes, and comprehensive transparency, you don't need an oracle.